I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are.
Walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you are doing well. तो आप देख सकते हो यहाँ पे मैंने गोल्ड में ट्रेड लिया था एक आज सेल साइड का लिया था। डेली बियरिश था, 4 आवर बियरिश था, शायद 1 आवर बुलिश था, बट मैंने यहाँ बियरिश लिख रखा है, पता नहीं। एनीवे तो यहाँ पे अपना मैंने ट्रेड लिया था, 2 ट्रेड लिए थे, मैं आपको बता देता हूँ। एक ट्रेड मैंने लिया था तो यहाँ पे मैंने कहीं लिया था, आपको मैं सच बताऊँ, यहाँ कहीं पे, यहाँ पे जैसे ही इसका आप रिजेक्शन देख रहे हो, यहाँ पे ये जो वीक बनी है, यहाँ पे मेरा ट्रेड एग्जीक्यूट हो गया था क्योंकि पेंडिंग डाल रखा था और 0.2 लॉट्स हुआ था और इसका जो एसएल था वो यहाँ पे रख दिया था मैंने। बट मुझे कायदे में इसका एसएल यहाँ पे रखना चाहिए था, इसका एसएल अपने को यहाँ पे रखना चाहिए था इसके ऊपर, बट एनीवे अपना एसएल यहाँ पे था, जो कि मेरा एक गलत डिसीज़न था। एंड सेकेंडली फिर मैंने फिर से एक ट्रेड बनाया था जब यहाँ पे एक 15 मिनट की बियरिश कैंडल बनी थी एंड इसका लो तोड़ा था, तो फिर से मैंने इसी साइड पे एक ट्रेड बनाया था जो कि अपने ने 1:3 बुक किया था। हालांकि यहाँ पे भी मैंने ट्रेडिंग गलत करी थी, मैं आपको बता दूँ, और यहाँ पे लॉट मैंने यूज़ करा था 0.01, क्योंकि मैं अभी एक छोटे से $50 वाले अकाउंट को ग्रो कर रहा हूँ, तो थोड़ा सा इसलिए समझ के कह रहा हूँ। सो यहाँ पे मैंने एक ट्रेड लिया था जिसमें 1:3 मिला। तो यहाँ पे मैंने ना क्या किया, यहाँ पे मैंने ऐसे यहाँ पे रख दिया क्योंकि राउंड ऑफ आ रहा था $6 का, ठीक है। मैंने ऐसे यहाँ रख दिया और मेरा पहला का जो माइनस में था वो -5 था, तो मैंने कहा यहाँ पे रख देता हूँ। यहाँ पे अपना आ रहा था $5.30 का, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे मेरा कायदे में ऐसे यहाँ बनता है, बट मैंने ट्रेडिंग ऐसे यहाँ रख दिया था। तो यहाँ पे इस कैंडल ने अपना ऐसे ले गई थी, हाँ। तो बस इसीलिए अपना 1:3 कुछ ट्रेड बना है, अप्रॉक्स 1:3 का बना है, जिसमें हम लोगों को $6 मिले हैं और -5 हुआ है। सो चलो आज की लर्निंग वीडियो शुरू करते हैं फिर। जो अपनी सुबह रह गई थी बस वही है आज की लर्निंग वीडियो। नाइस, यहाँ पे अपने को कुछ देख ही नहीं पा रहा। ओके दिख रहा, ओके क्लियर, नाइस। तो अपने यहाँ पे फिर से स्टार्ट करते हैं, जो अपने ये पूरी करते हैं वॉट ट्रेडिंग सेशन एंड ऑल। चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं फिर।
This video. Trading sessions are different for
आप भी नोट्स बनाना, मैं भी नोट्स बना रहा हूँ, मैं माइक ऑफ कर रहा हूँ। ओके सो ओके लेट्स स्टार्ट।
everybody, because the trading sessions will always happen at the same time, but depends where you are in the world with your time zone, how is that going to affect you? And I'll explain right now. So these are going to be the 4 trading sessions in the markets of the currencies, right? So it consists of Sydney, Tokyo, London, and New York. And out of these 4 sessions, only 2 of them are going to be the ones that you will only be executing trades in, because if not, the spread will simply eat you up. So if you come to here to the market, you guys can see that Sydney and Tokyo will be happening at these times GMT. So you have to make sure you calculate this based off of where you are in the world. Then you have London session and then New York session. As you can see right here, this is the main trading session. You want to enter either at the beginning or during London session, so the trades can push throughout all of London and all of New York and continue with the momentum, because Sydney and Tokyo have absolutely no volume in those sessions. Why? Because the big banks are closed and there's no money being moved here. Doesn't matter what currency pair it is. Now, this is going to be a very blurry picture, but I'm just going to show you the example of where there is more volume and where there is less volume. So clearly you can see these zones right here that are dark green are going to be where the majority of the volume will be in. And then the areas where it's light green or almost white, there's absolutely no volume. There's nothing you should be doing in these zones because there is no money being moved. Spread is very high and the market itself simply won't be moving that much because there's no volume. There's no momentum. Volume also equals market momentum, trading session, so on and so forth. There's just no movement in the market. So these sessions right here, Sydney session and Tokyo section, are very, very, very low volume. It's very expensive to trade in these sessions. And on top of that, there's no market volume, so there's no market movements happening at that time. The market moves with volume, so you want to trade at sessions where there's a lot more volume. As you can see right here, it's the beginning of London session, and you can see right here when New York and London session overlap, there's this massive chaos that happens because there's a lot of volume. This is where you have the big swings up or the big swings down. And then pretty much after London session and New York session overlap ends, pretty much starts to die down and slow down then. So you should only be looking to enter trades in between the beginning of London and the ending of London session, kind of where it also meets the middle of New York session. If you enter a trade in this session and it has not hit your take profit just yet or your stop loss, you simply set and forget, and you're going to be holding throughout Sydney and Tokyo section into the next London and New York session, which your trade should hit take profit or stop loss. So you guys can see here how if you were to look at it on EST, London session begins at 3 a.m. EST. Let me tell you, it sucks. I hate waking up at 3 in the morning, but it pays. If you're gonna make 100K on a trade, I guarantee you'll wake up at 3 in the morning. So you just have to see where you are in the world to see what time is London session for you. I know traders over in London get very great trading sessions because they have London session right in the morning and then New York session right in the afternoon. So you're kind of trading throughout your regular 9 to 5 schedule versus over here in Miami time EST. Kind of sucks. You have to pretty much be like a vampire and trade at night and trade in the morning as well. So this all depends where you are in the world, and you only want to focus in trading in London session and in New York session because it's the only session that there is volume. Volume equals less spread, more movement. No volume equals more spread, less movement, and you don't want to be involved in that. And I don't make the rules. The market does. You can try and go trade Sydney and Tokyo and you're gonna see how fast you'll get humbled. Trust me, I would much rather trade those sessions because of my time zone, but it simply doesn't work. There's no session. There's no volume in those sessions. There's nothing that I can do about it. So those are the times that you can trade. Now that you understand that these are the times that you can trade, it's time for you to hit the subscribe button. Just subscribe. You're this far into the video and you're not subscribed. Shame on you. But no, seriously, after you subscribed, you're going to want to make sure you stick around for this because it's the inevitable in trading and it's going to be slippage. What is slippage and how can you avoid it? What can you do about it? And the answer is nothing. There's nothing you can do about slippage. Well, there's actually one thing you can do about it, and that is not trade in the sense that you shouldn't be trading. Think of slippage like when shit happens in your life. Like let's say you're simply just walking out of the store with the groceries and the grocery bag breaks. Damn, that sucks. You don't want that to happen, but shit happens. You have to pick everything up, get into the grocery bag and move on about your day. It's like when you order coffee and you're walking to your car, you trip, you drop your whole entire coffee. You simply have to get the cup, throw it away and go get another one. Shit simply happens. It's inevitable. There's nothing you can do about it. You can learn from it and watch out for wherever you trip. You make sure next time you double bag, but shit happens. You're going, you're gonna mess up, right? It's part of life. Well, slippage is kind of as the same thing. Sometimes the market doesn't have enough liquidity. Sometimes the volume isn't there. There's not enough movement, and the price can either miss your stop loss, miss your take profit, or you're just going to get charged more. It's called slippage. Now, there are many different ways on how to look at this. You can look at this as the broker's fault. You can look at it the platform's fault. You can just simply realize that you took a trade out of session and you took a trade when you weren't supposed to, and you had a super tight stop loss, and news came out. It's just so many different things can come into it, but it just simply comes down to you just trading at the right session. If you trade outside of the sessions, you will not catch slippage. You want to make sure that you are only trading in the right session. And even as well, sometimes you can put 2 bags, and you can sometimes hold the coffee with 2 cups, and you can hold the coffee with 2 hands, but you will still probably trip. The bag will still break. It's just shit that happens. If I were to simply say how many times I get slippage, let's say out of 10 trades, maybe 1, maybe. And when that happens, it sucks because that always happens to be the winning trade. I don't know why it's the coincidence. The day that you order the coffee and it spills is the day you need it the most. The day that you get the groceries is the day that you were hungry the most. It just happens. It's part of life. It's part of your trading routine. Slippage is simply when the broker or the market does not have enough volume, so they're going to miss your stop loss, they're going to miss your take profit, and they're going to charge you more. It sucks, but it's part of the process. And the exact reason on why this happens is because let's say you have your stop loss at 1.500, and that is where you want to have your take profit. Well, if when price gets to 1.500 and there's nobody in the liquidity closing that trade out on the other side, or there's simply no money being traded at 1.500, the broker can't give you that money because nobody else is placing that other bet. So how are they going to give you money on something that doesn't exist? So there has to be a different player in the game to execute that trade on the other side. Well, if it's not there, they can't give it to you. So let's say somebody is at 1.4950, so 5 pips below you. Well, they can give you that one because that's where they have the liquidity at, so that's why you'll make a little bit less. Or let's say it's at 1.400, now it's 10 points less, and it sucks. The same thing happens with your stop loss. Let's say you have your stop loss at 1.000, and the market gets to 1.000, and there's no liquidity there, and price keeps going down. They can only close you out wherever they have the liquidity, and if they have the liquidity at 0.9500, well, you just lost an extra 50 pips because the market simply didn't have it. It sucks, but honestly, the odds of this happening are slim to none with this, great magnitude. Next, we're going to talk. So now that we understand that slippage is inevitable, let's talk about what isn't, and that is going to be leverage. So leverage is something that a broker broker pretty much requires for you to have when you're creating these accounts. On whatever broker it is that you're going to choose, you're going to have to select the leverage 1 to 50, 1 to 100, 1 to 200, 1 to 500, 1 to 1000, right? So when you first think of leverage, the first thing that should come to your mind is you are leveraging something for something. You're leveraging one thing to get another thing in return. We use it on our everyday basis, business, credit cards, we leverage all the time. So in trading, it makes no difference, but it's the type of way how it's leveraged. For example, 1 to 150 means for every $1 that you have in the account, you have a buying power of $50. If you have a 1 to 100, for every $1 that you deposit into the account, the broker will give you 100 times that buying power. So obviously, the higher the leverage, the better, because you can essentially use this credits or this money that the broker is giving you, right? They're actually not handing you money. They're just giving you more buying power with your money to execute trades into the market. Now, the higher the leverage, the higher risk, the lower leverage, the lower risk. I personally do not recommend any more than a 1 to 100 leverage. You do not need 100 times more money than you are depositing into the platform. It just simply makes no sense and you don't need it. The highest leverage I personally use right now is a 1 to 50 because obviously I'm risking a lot more money and I don't want to have the ability or the exposure to be able to use more of that. Because if you don't have a high leverage, if for whatever reason you get slippage, the broker literally cannot slip you out more than the money that they're allowing you to risk and more money than the leverage that they're giving you. So it's kind of a trap that you are forcing the broker because that way they pretty much have to take a loss on your position if they can't liquidate at the point where you are because the leverage simply doesn't let you. So basically to sum it up, leverage is literally what it is. You're leveraging more money that the broker is going to give you, and for every dollar, it's X multiplier on whatever percentage they're going to do, 1 to 50, 1 to 500. I don't recommend more than 1 to 100. You don't need more to succeed in trading. So now we understand what leverage is and how you can use it to your advantage and pretty much all the technical aspects of trading. Let's get into the most important topic in trading. Like, get a drum roll, editors. This is the most intimidating and the most challenging part of any trader that comes into the market. That is going to be psychology. So we're going to be now talking about the psychology battle that you will be facing yourself as a trader when you begin this never-ending journey to become a successful trader. And I say never-ending because I am already a successful and profitable trader, and I still battle with psychology. Now, obviously, not to the same degree or the same level as I did 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, but it's a different type of psychology and different types of emotions, but it's still there. It's just at a different level, but all of you guys will get to that level eventually. And every single level that you grow, you leave one behind, but you unlock a new level of emotions, fear, greed, so on and so forth. So let's begin. Now, I want you to keep in mind that this isn't something that I realized was important in trading until about a year into my journey, because the person that you come into trading is not the person that you come out on the other side. You literally come out on the other side as a completely different person. Like I've seen people that they would, smoke weed, they would party, they would be lazy, watch movies, that they would get their attention grabbed by trading, they'd get started, and a year down the road, they no longer do drugs, they meditate every morning, they read a book. Like trading will literally turn you into like a completely new person. You're going to visit parts of your emotions and you're going to learn things about you that no other journey will teach, because everything in trading is determined by you. It's determined by the effort and by the point-on-point mistakes that you do. If every single point mistake you do, you avoid it, you're going to be the only one that knows, you're going to be the only one that pays for it. If every single point-by-point mistake you learn from it and you move on, you are going to be the only one that knows, and you're going to be the only one that grows from it. So everything that you do in trading, you will be the only one that knows, you'll be the only one that keeps yourself accountable, and you'll be the only one that gets the benefit of it and will know if you're actually doing it. And that freedom of accountability and that freedom of being able to do what you want, when you want, hold yourself accountable if you want, when you want, how you want, is a very big double-edged sword, because you can choose to point the finger at yourself whenever you want, whenever it's most convenient. But whenever you don't want to, you can point it to the market, you can point it to the broker, or truthfully to whoever you want to put the blame on. And at the end of the day, whoever you put the blame on, no one's gonna come and tell you anything, because no one cares if you want to lose. At the end of the day, it's just you and the market. And market. That is going to be psychology. So we're going to be now talking about the psychology battle that you will be facing yourself as a trader when you begin this never-ending journey to become a successful trader. And I say never-ending because I am already a successful and profitable trader, and I still battle with psychology. Now, obviously, not to the same degree or the same level as I did 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, but it's a different type of psychology and different types of emotions, but it's still there. It's just at a different level, but all of you guys will get to that level eventually. And every single level that you grow, you leave one behind, but you unlock a new level of emotions, fear, greed, so on and so forth. So let's begin. Now, I want you to keep in mind that this isn't something that I realized was important in trading until about a year into my journey, because the person that you come into trading is not the person that you come out on the other side. You literally come out on the other side as a completely different person. Like I've seen people that they would, smoke weed, they would party, they would be lazy, watch movies, that they would get their attention grabbed by trading, they'd get started, and a year down the road, they no longer do drugs, they meditate every morning, they read a book. Like trading will literally turn you into like a completely new person. You're going to visit parts of your emotions and you're going to learn things about you that no other journey will teach, because everything in trading is determined by you. It's determined by the effort and by the point-on-point mistakes that you do. If every single point mistake you do, you avoid it, you're going to be the only one that knows, you're going to be the only one that pays for it. If every single point-by-point mistake you learn from it and you move on, you are going to be the only one that knows, and you're going to be the only one that grows from it. So everything that you do in trading, you will be the only one that knows, you'll be the only one that keeps yourself accountable, and you'll be the only one that gets the benefit of it and will know if you're actually doing it. And that freedom of accountability and that freedom of being able to do what you want, when you want, hold yourself accountable if you want, when you want, how you want, is a very big double-edged sword, because you can choose to point the finger at yourself whenever you want, whenever it's most convenient. But whenever you don't want to, you can point it to the market, you can point it to the broker, or truthfully to whoever you want to put the blame on. And at the end of the day, whoever you put the blame on, no one's gonna come and tell you anything, because no one cares if you want to lose. At the end of the day, it's just you and the market. And this is where you will visit the famous 6 different aspects of your personal self with your emotions and the battles that you'll be facing. You will be facing greed, fear, FOMO, money management, accountability, and procrastination. And all of these are going to be the 6 different psychology traits that will either end you or make you. The first psychology barrier that you're going to battle with immediately is going going to be greed. You go on Instagram and you see a bunch of these traders making 50,000, 100,000 a day, $200,000 a day, and you automatically think, I'm late. I'm doing something wrong. I should be in that position tomorrow. I should be in that position yesterday, the week before. I've been, not doing the things right. This next trade that I make, I have to make the same amount as that person. And you're already making the first mistake, and that is you're being extremely greedy, looking at other people's pockets and looking at other people's trades, comparing it to your own. Why are you going to base somebody else's decade in the markets to your first week in trading, your first month, even your first year? That's not how it goes. If I were to be in the gym for 10 years and I have six packs and I have a great body, and it's your first week that you come into the gym and you try and lift the same weights as me and you're trying to keep up in the cardio with me, it's almost disrespectful, because you're almost not even respecting the time that I put into it and the consistency that I did to get the results that I do. And if you expect that you by coming in your first week you're going to remotely get anywhere near close to what I have, it's just simply unrealistic. You're simply having an illusion of what you think you can possibly be within that short amount of time span. I'm a living proof that you can do it, but with time and consistency. Now, your greed is going to determine if you're going to put in that time or if you are not. And by this greed is going to be the first thing that will knock you down, because you simply aren't accepting who you are at that very point in time and realizing that you're not ready to make 10K a day or 20, 30, 40K a day, because you haven't even made your first $1,000 a day. So your greed has to completely be removed, so you are now able to be content with yourself and the results that you are having, so you can continue to grow within the markets at the pace that you should be growing. Not just wanting to jump from level 1 to level 50 in 1 week because we analyzed the same chart that week, or because you copied the same trade that I had for whatever reason. And now you are saying, well, I copied the same trade, I should make the same money. No, that is not how this works. Just because we're training at the same gym doesn't mean that we're going to have the same results. Next is going to be fear, because as soon as you overcome greed, then fear awaits you right there. It's almost like you get over greed and now you got to get over fear, because now that you realize that you're not at that level yet, that it's going to take time. Well, now you're scared of either risking the money that you should, you're scared of making the money you should, you're scared of the unknown, you're scared of losing too much, you're scared of winning too much, you're just scared of everything as a whole. And I get it. It can be very intimidating because you have pretty much nobody to talk to, right? Like at the end of the day, you're nation. Barrier that you're going to battle with immediately is going to be greed. You go on Instagram and you see a bunch of these traders making 50,000, 100,000 a day, $200,000 a day, and you automatically think, I'm late. I'm doing something wrong. I should be in that position tomorrow. I should be in that position yesterday, the week before. I've been, not doing the things right. This next trade that I make, I have to make the same amount as that person. And you're already making the first mistake, and that is you're being extremely greedy, looking at other people's pockets and looking at other people's trades, comparing it to your own. Why are you going to base somebody else's decade in the markets to your first week in trading, your first month, even your first year? That's not how it goes. If I were to be in the gym for 10 years and I have six packs and I have a great body, and it's your first week that you come into the gym and you try and lift the same weights as me and you're trying to keep up in the cardio with me, it's almost disrespectful, because you're almost not even respecting the time that I put into it and the consistency that I did to get the results that I do. And if you expect that you by coming in your first week you're going to remotely get anywhere near close to what I have, it's just simply unrealistic. You're simply having an illusion of what you think you can possibly be within that short amount of time span. I'm a living proof that you can do it, but with time and consistency. Now, your greed is going to determine if you're going to put in that time or if you are not. And by this greed is going to be the first thing that will knock you down, because you simply aren't accepting who you are at that very point in time and realizing that you're not ready to make 10K a day or 20, 30, 40K a day, because you haven't even made your first $1,000 a day. So your greed has to completely be removed, so you are now able to be content with yourself and the results that you are having, so you can continue to grow within the market at the pace that you should be growing. Not just wanting to jump from level 1 to level 50 in 1 week because we analyzed the same chart that week, or because you copied the same trade that I had for whatever reason. And now you are saying, well, I copied the same trade, I should make the same money. No, that is not how this works. Just because we're training at the same gym doesn't mean that we're going to have the same results. Next is going to be fear, because as soon as you overcome greed, then fear awaits you right there. It's almost like you get over greed and now you got to get over fear, because now that you realize that you're not at that level yet, that it's going to take time. Well, now you're scared of either risking the money that you should, you're scared of making the money you should, you're scared of the unknown, you're scared of losing too much, you're scared of winning too much, you're just scared of everything as a whole. And I get it. It can be very intimidating because you have pretty much nobody to talk to, right? Like at the end of the day, us traders, we're in this shit alone. Like you can't ask anybody in your family. I guarantee nobody in your family knows what the hell this is. You can't ask any friend because none of your friends have the same vision, the same ambition as you, so you're kind of alone. And this fear, you kind of just have to swallow it yourself, because you don't want to, put it out to people that have no idea what this is, so they're not going to know how to help you. And by you doing this, you're actually just doing more damage to yourself in a way, because you can't just talk to somebody about money management and wins and losses. We don't even know what a pivot is. So this fear is something that you have to overcome on your own. You can't get consulting from anybody outside of trading, because they simply won't understand and they won't connect with it. And their advice, if anything, it can be damaging due to the fact to their lack of education. Now, they're not purposely trying to harm you, but they will harm you due to their lack of information and awareness to the opportunity that this space brings. And the simplest way of getting over fear is simply by showing up every single day. And if the market's going to punch you, just get ready for the hit. You know that in a couple of hours after you get punched in the face, you'll be fine. And if next time you see the punch coming, that clench a little bit, and then over time to duck and to start avoiding it. There's nothing you can do about it other than just face your fears, and over time your fears are going to make you the winner that you will be at the end of the day, because you learn from those mistakes. Fear can come in many different ways. It can either come from losing money, scared to take a trade, scared to try new things. At the end of the day, it simply comes down to you having to face your fears to be able to learn from the mistakes that you will make, and then you move on and you capitalize from. And as soon as you're finishing the battle of getting over your fears and learning from them, you're going to enter the new battle that is kind of greed and fear at the same time, and that's going to be FOMO, which is going to be fear of missing out. And your fear of missing out is only going to be because you have been putting time into the market and you understand there's opportunities in the market, and you've seen the opportunities to capitalize off of it. You've seen the opportunities, you've made money, you've lost money, and now you're at the point where the opportunity is there, but you simply have fear of missing out, and you don't want to miss out. You want to be involved as much as possible so you can capitalize from these opportunities. And this is something that it took me about, I say, 2 to 3 months to get over. Luckily, I was getting over it pretty quick, because I simply woke up one day and I realized, I'm like, what do I have fear of missing out on? What is it? Money, right? I'm scared of missing out on the opportunity to make money with the skill set that I have learned or I'm learning. And then I asked myself, well, are these opportunities going to end? And instantly I said, yes, like I have to get it before they run out. But then I had more of a logical answer. I'm like, well, probably not. The markets are going to be here for the next 10 to 15 years. So why do I have to catch every trade? Why do I have to chase trades? Why do I have to take trades that don't make sense? Why am I trying to chase the money when the money's going to be here for the next 10 to 15 years? Well, that's where I got a reality check and where everything changed for me, because I realized that me chasing these trades, or me wanting to get these trades that were running away, and me having fear of missing out of these trades that were running away, was actually making me lose more money, because I was taking trades that didn't make sense. I was just taking trades because I thought the more trades I take, the more money I would make, and I was actually completely wrong. And I had fear of missing out on all these different types of opportunities that the market had to offer. But then I realized that the market is going to offer these opportunities forever. As long as we have currencies in the world, there's going to be opportunities to make money. And I guarantee you, if all the currencies in the world are gone, we got bigger problems to worry about than taking trades. So the reality of the situation is the opportunities in the market are never going to disappear. So why chase trades and why have fear of missing out? If you know that the ocean is going to always give you waves to surf, why are you trying to catch every single wave? It simply makes no sense. What you should do is wait on the beach and wait for the best trade. Wait on the beach and wait for the best wave to present itself, so then you surf that one good wave. Not just try and surf every single wave like if the ocean's going to stop creating waves. Because I can guarantee you, if the ocean stops giving waves, we got a bigger problem to worry about. And it's definitely not going to be surfing them at that point. So the ocean's going to always give you waves. So don't have fear of missing out on that wave. Just know if you missed a nice wave, well, the ocean will give you another one next week or the week after that, but it will come. If you miss a great trade in the market, well, don't chase it. The market's going to give you a great trade the week after that, or if not, the other one. And this is going to be the strongest point that you need to adapt and understand as a trader, so you can reach that next mountain of becoming a successful trader and only taking trades that make sense. The moment I did this, my trading completely turned 180 and I started actually making money. And that leads me to my next topic, which is going to be money management. So if you know that the trades are going to keep coming, and if you know that the waves are going to keep coming, why are you going to give it your all on every single wave that you take? Kind of makes no sense, right? Because if you kind of give it your all on every single wave, and you're taking every wave, you're probably falling on all of them and probably not giving you a good ratio. Where you're taking every single trade and you're risking all you got, you're probably not going to make a lot of money, because there's not a lot of opportunities that present themselves every single day. So if you only take the good trades, but then you lower your risk to only taking the right amount on those good trades, that's where you become a profitable trader. And that's going to be the topic of money management. You need to understand that you are in the game of money. You're in the currency markets, you're in the financial markets, you're moving money. If you do not have money management, you will simply not succeed. You need to treat trading like a business. Every single business, they have budgets. So 100% of the income a business gets, a certain portion goes to payroll, a certain portion goes into inventory, a certain percentage goes to savings, a certain percentage goes into reserves, and another certain percentage goes back into marketing. And then at the end, the CEOs get paid. Do you see how the money is equally distributed around different departments? Well, trading is only one department, and it's going to be one trade, risk management, and that's it. So you need to divide your account in ways that is going to accept that risk management. And you need to treat each trade with the right risk management. You are not going to succeed if you do not have risk management. If you try and do this without risk management, simply you can go and kiss your trading success goodbye, because it will not work. You need to risk a certain percentage of your accounts every single time you take a trade, and you stick to that percentage. Now, over time, you can scale and you can risk more, but you need to risk a certain percentage amount, and that is it. You can never risk more than you are obviously calculating, and you can never risk less, because then it throws off your risk reward ratio. If you do not manage your risk correctly, you will not succeed. If a business has an amazing product, it has an amazing service, it has an amazing team, but the finances of the business are not good, the business will collapse. It is the same exact thing in trading. You can have the best strategy in the world, you can have the best entry signal, the best everything, but if you do not know how to manage the money, your trading will collapse. So you need to be very true to the risk management and money management rules, because this is not only going to remove your greed and fear, but it's going to help you with your fear of missing out and only taking the right trades that you should be taking. Just think about it. Do you think these traders at banks, these traders at institutions, they're not using money management, they're not using risk management? Obviously. And you want to get as close as you can as a trader to those guys. And the moment you do that, you're going to shift from a gambler trader to a institutional trader as close as you can with money management. If banks are using money management, if institutions are using money management, if bankers are using money management, why shouldn't you? Ask yourself that question. So now that we understand that, next is going to be comparing yourself to others. I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, and I kind of explained it earlier with greed, but this is a topic within itself, because comparing yourself to others can go for positive or it can go for negative. You should never compare yourself to anybody, whether that person is above or below you. You shouldn't use somebody below you to lift yourself up and be like, you see, now I am funded, or now I've made my first $5,000. The person that didn't believe in me, they're getting started and still haven't succeeded. You should never compare yourself to somebody else to lift yourself up. And you should never compare yourself to somebody that is above you to create a further gap, or for you to try and do whatever you can to catch up. This is just a never-ending circle, because at the end of the day, there's always a bigger boat. There's always a bigger person out there, and none of that shit matters. All that matters is who you are and where you were last month and where you are this month. If last month compared to this month, you grew 20%, you are 20% better than what you were last month. And if this month compared to next month, you were 20% better, you have just grown 40% in 2 months. Imagine if somebody would have invested into you. Let's say your name had a stock or had a pair or whatever, and they would have put $1,000 onto your name. And if you just grew 40% in the last 2 months, you just made a 40% return on investment on that person's money. I can guarantee that person's gonna be very happy. Well, that person has to be you, nobody else other than you. You compare yourself to yourself. And you notice that if you invest in yourself and month after month, you are gaining percentage and you're getting better, you will see how by you investing in you, that money will grow month after month after month. Do not compare yourself to anybody, whether above or whether below you. This is the most toxic trade that you can do, to elevate yourself with somebody below you, or to push yourself away if somebody's above you. And then last but not least is going to be kind of my favorite one. And it's gonna be procrastination. Now you're probably wondering why this is here. And honestly, it's actually more important than you can imagine, because 99% of traders out there know exactly what they have to do to succeed. They know they have to use risk management, they know they have to take less trades, and they know they have to just focus on themselves. And they don't do it. You know why? Because they're procrastinating. They want to test other things to see if they can try and make it happen before they go back and use the standard, the basic, the boring rules. They're procrastinating their success because they're not taking action on what they should. And this actually starts off with the beginning of your day. If at the beginning of your day, you don't simply make your bed, you don't clean the dishes, you don't throw away the trash, you leave dirty clothes on the floor, if you leave all of these things procrastinated for when you come back into the house, your mind is clouded indirectly of all these little tasks that you have to do that cloud your mind for what you're actually supposed to be doing. And you're subconsciously making it okay to procrastinate the little things. So when it comes to the big things, you simply don't give it much importance because you think it's okay to procrastinate because you do it in your day-to-day basis with your normal life. So why would it be any different in your trade? Well, it's actually all the difference. You have to treat your day-to-day life exactly how you treat your trading. If you procrastinate in your day-to-day life, you're going to bring that same energy to your trading, and it's going to affect you drastically because everybody knows what they have to do to succeed in order to make money in trading. And you don't do it because you're procrastinating and you want to try out these other fugazi stuff because it's faster or more clickbait and it's not the slow and traditional way. Well, that is your fault because you're procrastinating what you're supposed to be doing to what you want to be doing. And procrastinating starts at the beginning of your day. If you procrastinate throwing away the trash, you're going to procrastinate on using the right risk management. The moment you stop procrastinating, you start doing what you have to do in your day-to-day life, you're going to see how everything takes a turn in your trading because subconsciously you just know what you have to do because everything is out there for you to simply follow and succeed with. So now we are on the final stage, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're this far into the video, you are actually committed because you are literally knowing everything that you need in order to be a successful trader. You understand what platforms to use, what platforms to avoid. You understand different types of trading. You understand the technical analysis and the actual tools that you need to only focus on when analyzing the charts. You understand trading psychology. You understand the entries, take profit, stop loss. And now we are on the last step, and that is doing everything together where we're going to analyze a trade and actually execute it together on MetaTrader 4 so you guys can see how to actually place the trade, put the lot size, and to see if it hits take profit or if it hits stop loss. So you guys have made it this far. I'm very excited for what I'm about to show you guys. So now the first step to entering your trade is going to be to go to tradingview.com. So first things first is you need to analyze what market are we interested in buying and what market are we interested in selling. So as you guys can see right here, we have Euro GBP, which is the Euro versus the Great British Pound. And we have identified that this market is bearish, right? So we're gonna keep this very simple, very straight to the point. And you can see that this market structure is heading to the downside. You can see how the market structure was going upwards and then how the market all of a sudden then had a complete breakout of this. Now the market heading downward. So this market has shifted from bullish to then bearish. So this is our first indication that we are looking to enter a trade, and that is the trend. You need to make sure that you are trading with the trend. Like, I cannot stress this enough. And the moment you start trading with the trend, not only are you going to win more, but you're going to facilitate the way your trades are going to go into your direction. They just go so much faster and so much smoother. So make sure you trade with the trend. The trend is your friend, and I've said it 100 times. Write it down on a sticky note. This is extremely important. Next is going to be you want to have your strong level of support and resistance. So let's determine that we identify this zone right here as a strong level of support and resistance. If we continue to drag it to the left, we can see how this is a very well respected level of support, one above, level of support, one above, level of resistance, one under, level of resistance, one under, level of support, one above. And in this case, we are under. So what does that mean? Well, that means that not only do we have the trend bearish, but we are under a very strong level of support and resistance. So this is going to be another indication that we should be entering this trade to sell versus to buy. Because again, remember, at the end of the day, all we're doing is painting a picture on what makes the most sense. Does it make more sense to buy, or does it make more sense to sell? And as of right now, we're already building two reasons why we should be selling versus buying. Next is we want to then go to the lower time frame and look for our entry signal. And as you guys can see, this right here would have been our entry signal at this point right here, which would have been this bearish engulfing candlestick, which represented it on the 1 hour. And here on the 2 hour, we have a beautiful bearish engulfing candlestick. So we have a beautiful rejection from the level of resistance. The trend is bearish, and we have a bearish engulfing candlestick, which is our entry signal. So this is where we'd be ready to take our trade. But we can't just take the trade. We have to then actually put our risk to reward ratio in order to see if this trade makes any sense. So if this were to be the area of interest, it would be 10 pips, and we want to give it anywhere from 5 to 10 pips breathing room above or under the area of interest. Above the area of interest if we're selling, under the area of interest if we're buying. In this case, we are selling, so we want to put it 5 pips above. So this is where we would add an extra 5 pips, which would be at this point right here, and we would have a total of a 15 pip stop loss. And then our take profit would be at the next structure point. And as you guys can see, this would be the next structure point right around here at this area. Let's go down to the 4 hour time frame just to make it more clear. And right here would be our take profit. So as you guys can see, this trade would be a low risk to reward trade. Why? Because we do not have a 1 to 2 risk to reward. So now we have to ask ourselves, what should we do? Should we create a longer take profit, so around this area, so we have a 1 to 2 risk to reward? Or should we minimize our stop loss just a little bit so we have a 1 to 2 risk to reward? Well, there you can determine on what does the trade need less. Does the trade need less of a bigger take profit, or does it need less of a bigger stop loss? You just have to determine what does it need. Me personally, I would always much rather have a bigger stop loss so the trade can have more room to fluctuate. And then you just set and forget. I don't mind getting an extra 5-10 pips to get the total of the 1 to 2 risk to reward. So this right here would be our trade that we would be interested in executing immediately because we have our entry signal, everything that we're looking for the trade. And you guys can see that this is currently the live market. You can see how the time right here is running. You can see how it matches the time right here. This is the live price on this market. So now we'd be ready to take our trade, but we can't take our trade just yet because we have to calculate our risk. Well, that's where we would come over here to my position size calculator, and we would put the pair that we'd be trading. For example, we'd be trading Euro GBP. The currency is USD. And what account size do we have? Well, let's actually create an account right now on MetaTrader as a demo account so we can put all of this foolproof test, and I can also explain to you a little bit more on how MetaTrader works. So I'm gonna actually get onto my phone now and just show you how it's gonna work here. So as soon as you enter MetaTrader and you log in, you probably have a demo account or you probably won't have anything, right? So this is what you would be seeing immediately. Let's just create an account right now really fast so I can walk you through all of the settings that the platform has to offer. So you wanna go over here to the bottom right corner, which is going to be the settings. And as soon as you click the settings button, you wanna click the top one where it says trade accounts and then new account. So you wanna click on the new account button, and then here it's going to give you the option to open a demo account or log into an existing account. So right now we're just gonna open a demo account so we can take this trade and I can show you guys how everything works. You wanna click on the MetaQuote demo server, which is the first one that pops up right there. Next is going going to be the information that you're going to fill out. So I just put this random number, 305-552-2525. I'm sorry, that's a real number because about like a million people are going to see this right now. So I'm sorry. Just make up a random email, and then you click your Forex account is going to be USD. Your leverage is going to be 1 to 100, and then you can deposit into your account whatever you want, whether you want 5,000, 10,000. We can just do a simple $5,000 into this account. And then you simply just click register. As soon as you register, this is going to be the login to the actual account, and then you would click done. As soon as you click done, you will notice how now all of these different currency pairs will load up. And then when you click the middle button, which is going to be the trade area, we're going to see the trades live. You can see how you have your $5,000 deposited into your account. And if you click the bottom right button, which is going to be the settings, you can see how this is your demo account that you have just opened and created. So let me just walk you through this whole entire platform. So I'm going to explain to you the things that I use and the things that I don't use, and the only things you will be needing to focus, right? So all the way to the bottom left is going to be the quotes. This is basically the different types of currency pairs. The same thing that we are analyzing. There's that the currency pair that you're looking to trade has to offer. And if you notice, we're looking to trade Euro GBP, but in here, I don't see Euro GBP. You have Euro USD, GBP USD, USD JPY, USD CAD, USD CHF, NZD USD, AUD USD, AUD NZD, and AUD CAD. These are all different types of currency pairs. If you simply click it, you can see how it's going to say Euro versus the dollar, GBP versus the Great British Pound, the US dollar versus the Japanese yen, and the list goes on forever. But we're looking to trade Euro GBP. And where is it? I can't find it. Well, simply click the top right plus corner, and then you click search. As soon as you click search, you just type in the currency pair that we are looking to trade, which is Euro GBP. You can see it pops up right there. Just click the little plus sign, and it will automatically get added onto the list. And you can see it's the last currency pair of the list, which is this bottom one all the way over here, which is the Euro versus the Great British Pound, which is the trade that we're analyzing on TradingView that we're interested in setting. Next, the button is going to be the charts, which realistically, this chart we will never be using simply because we are looking at the charts on TradingView. So we'll never, ever use this chart option. The next The next one is, and every single button in this section we will not be using. I've never used it, don't plan to use it ever, don't need to use it. Next is going to be the trade, which is the middle section. This is where you're going to see your balance, this is where you're going to see your margin, and we're going to see your trades floating in profits. You click the top right corner, which is the plus, and it's going to pretty much get you into a trade immediately. So you want to be very careful clicking that button, and we're just going to actually enter a trade right now in just a second. Next is going to be the history button, which here you can see the history of your trades, whether it's a day, during the week, month, or you can customize it for as much time as you want to do it. Obviously, we just created this account, so it's going to pop up as if it were to be deposited. And if you look to the bottom right corner, which is the last option, you can see all these different types of options. I literally do not use any other option other than the top option, which is simply logging into a new account. I don't use the mailbox, I don't use the news, I don't use trade days, chat and messages, traders community, OTP, interface, charts, journal, insights. I don't use absolutely any of those buttons. I never have, and I'm simply not interested in it. So now, moving back over to quotes, we have our Euro GBP trade. Oh, and I forgot one button, which is the top left corner pencil. This is if you ever want to delete a currency pair, simply click it, trash it, and you get rid of it. If you want to add it back, simply click the right plus sign, search it up, very simple to add it back, right? So now that we are ready to take our Euro GBP trade, we need to see, well, we just created an account with $5,000. So let's actually make our way back to my FXbook position size calculator. And this is where we would change the account size to $5,000. And we have to ask ourselves, what do we want to risk from this $5,000? Do you want to risk 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%? For this example, let's just do a basic 2%. Then what is your total amount of pips in your stop loss? Well, if you don't know or you forgot, come back over here to Euro GBP, and you can see how we have a 15.1 pip stop loss. We can just round it off to 15. We're gonna come back over here to the stop loss. We put 15 pips, and then the trade size and lots always stays as 1. And then here we click calculate. As soon as we click calculate, it tells us that we have to place a 0.53 lot on this trade. Well, exactly what we're gonna do right now. So we come over here back to the quote section, and now it's the moment of actually executing this trade that we are looking at on Euro GBP. So we want to click here Euro GBP. Before we click it, make sure our spread is below 10. Anything below 10 is a great spread, and as of right now it's 3. So it's pretty much almost free to enter the trade. Think about 3 as a dollar, and 4 or 5 each dollar. Anything above 10, $10 to enter a trade, very expensive. So you simply click here, and you're going to click the trade button, and this section will pop up. Because if you come to this section and you click the charts, it's going to take you to the button next to the quotes, which you simply don't need. And if you click the button under that, which is going to be details, it's just going to take you to these details, which you simply don't need and can't do anything with it. So you want to click this button and click the trade option. Here, you're going to see that you have Euro GBP, which is the market that we are trading. You want to change currency pair, you click that, and it's going to change it for you. But obviously, we're interested in trading Euro GBP, so we're going to stick to that. Then the button under that is going to be, do you want an instant execution? Do you want to buy limit, sell limit, buy stop, sell stop? We will only be using market execution instantly. We do not want to place market orders. Market orders are orders when you want to place a buy stop. So when the market gets to there, it stops, it enters a buy for you. But I personally don't think that's the right way of trading, because you're not basing your strategy off of a visual confirmation. So whenever price gets to a certain area, you want the market to enter you immediately. And I see that as extremely high risk and absolutely no probability. You're just taking a trade off of momentum, makes no sense. So we always only take trades on instant market execution. So every single time you come to a trade, when you click trade, it will pop up. You don't have to do absolutely anything. Then the numbers right under instant execution, which is 0.01, this is where you're going to click it, and you're going to place the 0.53 lots that the My FXbook position size calculator has given out to you. And that's it. It's very simple. Here, you're going to then go to the trading view, and your stop loss, which is going to be this section right here. You can see that the stop loss is 0.85768. So we're going to put our stop loss 0.85768. And then our take profit is this section down here where this green number is, which is 0.85313. And that is it. Now, are we ready to buy or sell? Well, we're ready to sell, so we're going to click the sell button. And just like that, you have been instantly executed into the market. And as you can see, as soon as we enter this trade, we are negative because the market is going to charge its spread. It's going to charge its fee. It is absolutely inevitable. And as you can see, since we had a low spread, the cost to enter this trade was literally $1. So it was extremely cheap. So what we do now is the famous set and forget. Literally, we just enter the trade and we just set and forget. It's going to either hit your take profit or it's either going to hit your stop loss. It's going to do either one of the things for you. If you were to click the live trade right here, you have to hold it in order to obviously execute it. You want to close it, modify it, so on and so forth. But you can see how you have your stop loss in place and you have your take profit in place. So whatever you decide to do about your day, you can rest assured that the market is going to take you out at the loss that you calculated and at the win that you calculated, whichever one of them happens first. So we just let about 7 minutes go by and we are currently up now $4. Now we're up about $3. So trade is going in the direction that we were predicting. Obviously it's very little momentum, but just wanted to show you guys what it looks like when you're in profit. So when you're not in profit, the screen is red. When you're in profit, the screen is blue. So this is what it looks like right now because the trade is in profit. So we're going to close this trade in the case that we would not want to have our take profit get hit or our stop loss get hit, because that'll happen automatically. So we can simply just come here and then you would hold it and then you would simply click close trade. And it would ask you here, are you sure you want to close with $3.36 in profit? Now it's $2.69 in profit. Now it's back to $3.36 because it's actively changing and it's giving you the real price data. Then you know, do you really want to close it with this amount, or much amount of profit? And you simply say yes, you click it. And as soon as you click it, you have been liquidated from your position and you can come here to the history. You can see we have made $3.37 in about 7 minutes. Now, according to my calculations, it'll take you a while to become a millionaire with this, but you are a profitable trader. So if you notice, you don't even see the minus $1 that the spread was taken. This is because it was taken automatically when you took the trade. So if we would have lost this trade and we calculated a $200 loss, if we would have hit our stop loss, we would have actually lost $201. But when we win a trade, we don't see the spread because it was already removed from the beginning. So this is a perfect example on why you should win instead of losing a trade. So I want to congratulate you because you made it this far, because you have officially all of the resources that you need to become a trader. Now, the only thing that you are missing is simply a profitable strategy. You guys saw how easy I simply analyzed this chart in a matter of 1 minute by identifying the trend. After we identified the trend, we simply found the zone, why it should be selling from there versus buying, and you can see how we got our entry signal, and then the time that we're taking this trade is right before 11 session. You guys are seeing how having a strategy makes the trade make sense. You're supposed to treat every single trade as if it were to be an investment, and this investment you have to present it to your friends, your family member, or even an investor. And if you don't have a full explanation on why this trade should go in one direction versus the other, then you don't have a good trade. You're supposed to explain the trade with so much detail, and it makes so much sense that the person you're talking to is going to simply want to take the trade with you, because it makes more sense on the trade going in that direction versus the other. And the way you create this direction bias that you know where it's going to go is based off with a strategy. Once you have a profitable strategy and a winning strategy, not does only analyzing the markets become easy, but making money in the markets becomes even easier, because you are literally applying a profitable strategy and a strategy that is foolproof and works, that you can create this edge. And when you analyze the markets, it makes more sense to go in one direction than the other, because at the end of the day, the market is either going to go up or it's going to go down. So it's already a 50-50 game. All you have to do is build a little bit more of an edge towards one way, so you can simply take a trade and set and forget. And over the course of my 7 years of this never-ending trading journey, I have been able to filter out what strategies work and what strategies don't. Like you guys can see in this video alone, I have literally provided to you what took me about 2 years to figure out all the tools and all the resources that you should learn in order so you can start applying a strategy in this simple one video. And that is just what is out here publicly on YouTube. The set and forget strategy that I have created has the highest success rate and the most simplicity and effectiveness when it comes to identifying the direction of the market, whether you're going to take a trade for a buy or whether you're going to take a trade for a sell. So if you think that this video was educational and that it had a lot of value, imagine how you can create an insanely edge over the market with the set and forget strategy. Now, if you don't know what the set and forget strategy is, all you have to do is click the link in the description below. I have a video there for you that explains exactly what it is. And it lets traders make anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a week in their first 3 months as a beginner set and forget trader. These are traders that have no idea what the market direction was before, and now they're applying a successful strategy that lets them make anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a week as a beginner.
सो अपना ये हो चुका है, पूरी वीडियो कंप्लीट हो गई। मोस्ट प्रोबेबली अभी स्ट्रीम को कितनी ही देर हुई है, 45 मिनट्स हुए हैं। और नाउ एसएमसी अपना शुरू करते हैं, उससे पहले थोड़ा सा ब्रेक लेते हैं।
स्मार्ट मनी कंसेप्ट एक ऐसा टॉपिक है जिसमें बहुत
चलो आप तब तक गाने सुनो और मैं थोड़ा सा ब्रेक लेता हूँ।
I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it rain. Tonight we gonna let it just like the sunrise. We gonna let it rain. Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna let it rain.
हंगामा मचाया हुआ है, सबको जानना है क्या है एसएमसी, क्या आप यूज करते हो एसएमसी नहीं करते हो। तो आज सीखेंगे स्मार्ट मनी कंसेप्ट क्या होता है, और ये काम करता है बैंक निफ्टी में भी, और ये काम करता है गोल्ड में भी, यूएसडी सीएचएफ में भी, यूएसडी जेपीवाई में भी। तो सारी चीजों में काम करता है। तो दोनों मार्केट वाले मेरे जो सब्सक्राइबर्स हैं, इंडियन या फॉरेक्स, आप इस वीडियो को देख सकते हो और सीख सकते हो। देखो, जज नहीं करते कि अच्छा है कि नहीं है, बुरा है क्या है, ये सब बहुत स्टूपिड लोग की हरकतें होती है कि लेफ्ट है अच्छी, राइट अच्छी है। भाई जिससे काम आपका हो रहा है वो अच्छा है। यू कैन नॉट कंपेयर लेफ्ट हैंड विद राइट हैंड, बोथ ऑफ द हैंड्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट। तो समझेंगे और एंड में डिसाइड करेंगे कि ये जो लोग ज्यादा इसकी हाइप बनाए हुए हैं वो ठीक है कि नहीं है, काम करता है कि नहीं करता, अभी आप देख लेंगे। काम तो सारी चीजें करते हैं अगर आप अप्लाई करते हो तो, सेल्फ कंट्रोल है तो आओ, ये वीडियो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाला है। तो बिल्कुल टाइम ऐसा मत फटाफट करके देखना, जल्दी देख लो, आराम से देखना, टाइम मत, आराम से देखना, ठीक है। तो बहुत वीडियो लाइक करके छोड़ दो, आराम से चलो शुरू करते हैं। ओके, तो शुरू करेंगे एसएमसी के पहले कुछ कंसेप्ट पढ़ेंगे कि क्या होते हैं फेयर वैल्यू गैप्स, क्या होती है इनएफिशिएंसी, मार्केट में बड़ी कैंडल बनती है, उसके बाद ऑर्डर ब्लॉक बनता है, कुछ ऑर्डर पेंडिंग रह जाते हैं। तो ये सब चीजें अपन समझेंगे। तो आपको मेरे लैपटॉप की स्क्रीन लेके जाता हूं और दिखाता हूं कि हर टाइम फ्रेम पे कैसे काम करेगा। 4 घंटे भी काम करेगा, 1 घंटे भी काम करेगा, निफ्टी बैंक निफ्टी सब में काम करेगा। तो मैं आपको लेके जाता हूं सबसे पहले मैं मेरे लैपटॉप की स्क्रीन पर लेफ्ट सामने लिखा हुआ है स्मार्ट मनी कंसेप्ट। ये जो कंसेप्ट्स हैं, हम आज इतने कंसेप्ट्स एक्सप्लोर करेंगे। ऑर्डर ब्लॉक क्या होता है, लिक्विडिटी का मतलब क्या होता है, फेयर वैल्यू गैप क्या होता है, ब्रेक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर क्या होता है, चेंज ऑफ फैक्टर क्या होता है। तो ये कंपोनेंट्स हैं। अब इन कंपोनेंट को स्ट्रेटजी में कन्वर्ट करके मैं ये स्ट्रेटजी आपके सामने लाया हूं डायरेक्शन। तो स्ट्रेटजी बाद में समझते, पहले सारे कंसेप्ट समझते हैं। तो सबसे पहले समझेंगे कि भाई ऑर्डर ब्लॉक क्या होता है। तो ऑर्डर ब्लॉक क्या होता है, सबसे पहले आपको समझना है कि जब कभी भी मार्केट में, लेट्स से कि मार्केट में एक छोटी कैंडल बनती है, ठीक है, डोजी जैसी कैंडल बनती है फॉर एग्जांपल, ठीक है, और उसके बाद एक बहुत बड़ी ग्रीन कैंडल बनती है, ठीक है, बहुत बड़ी ग्रीन कैंडल बनती है। जब एक बहुत बड़ी ग्रीन कैंडल बनी तो क्या ये मैं कह सकता हूं कि यहां पे कहीं ना कहीं बड़ा पैसा, इंस्टीट्यूशनल मनी या स्मार्ट मनी इन्वॉल्वड है। और उसके बाद एक और कैंडल बनती है, कुछ इस तरीके की कैंडल बनती है। तो क्या होता है, जब कभी भी ऐसी कैंडल बनती है तो दो फिनोमेना देखने मिलते हैं अपन को। सबसे पहला फिनोमेना देखने मिलता है ऑर्डर ब्लॉक नाम का, यानी कि जब कभी भी आपको अप ट्रेंडिंग मार्केट में बड़ी कैंडल, ग्रीन कैंडल के पहले जो एक कैंडल थी, हो सकता है छोटी ग्रीन हो या रेड हो, दोनों चलेगा, उसके हाई और लो को मैं ऐसे मार्क करूंगा और इस तरीके से आगे खींच दूंगा, तो इसको हम कह सकते हैं एक शब्द में ऑर्डर ब्लॉक। तो ऑर्डर ब्लॉक का मतलब क्या हुआ कि जब कभी भी एक इनएफिशिएंसी मतलब मार्केट में बहुत बड़ा ब्रेकआउट आ गया, तो मार्केट में हो सकता है बहुत सारे ऑर्डर पेंडिंग होंगे, तो एक जब भी बड़ी इंबैलेंस, वीक वर्ड इंबैलेंस, तो जब कभी भी ऐसा ब्रेकआउट आता है हम कह सकते हैं कि मार्केट यहां पे एक ऑर्डर ब्लॉक है। तो अभी जब कभी भी मार्केट इस एरिया में आएगा तो हाई चांस है कि इस ऑर्डर ब्लॉक से सपोर्ट लेके ऊपर जा सकता है। तो सबसे पहले आपने देखा कि ऑर्डर ब्लॉक का मतलब क्या होता है। अब ऑर्डर ब्लॉक को वैलिड होने के लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट बात यह है कि ये जो विक है इसकी, ये पूरी की पूरी से घुसनी नहीं चाहिए, यानी कि ये वॉलेट नहीं हो सकता। यहां पे जो बड़ी कैंडल है, फर्स्ट कैंडल है, सेकंड कैंडल है बड़ी वाली, थर्ड कैंडल, इन दोनों के बीच में गैप होना चाहिए। तो सबसे पहला रूल तो ये है ऑर्डर ब्लॉक का, ठीक है। तो हमने बेसिक और मेरा एग्जांपल देखेंगे, बहुत समझ में इजी आ जाएगा। तो ऑर्डर ब्लॉक का बेसिक समझेंगे, ऑर्डर ब्लॉक क्या होता है, यूज कैसे करेंगे समझेंगे। सेकंड कांसेप्ट है लिक्विडिटी क्या होता है। ऑर्डर ब्लॉक बहुत सारे बनते हुए दिखाऊंगा मैं आपको आज, तो आप ये समझ जाओगे। अब समझते हैं लिक्विडिटी का मतलब क्या होता है। अब लेट्स से कि अगर मैं यहां पे ओके, अगर मैं यहां पे आता हूं और यहां पे मैं रिप्ले मोड पे लाता हूं फॉर एग्जांपल, तो लिक्विडिटी का मतलब होता है कि भाई आप आइडेंटिफाई करो एरियाज ऑफ लिक्विडिटी, मतलब एरियाज जहां पे लोगों के स्टॉप लॉस या टारगेट लगे हुए हैं। यानी कि अगर मैं कहता हूं कि मार्केट मान लो कुछ इस तरीके का स्विंग बनाता है, कुछ ऐसा एरिया बनाता है फॉर एग्जांपल, तो ऑब्वियस सी बात है कि एरियाज ऑफ लिक्विडिटी वुड बी ओवर हियर एंड एक इंटरनल लिक्विडिटी यहां पे मिलेगी अपन को, ठीक है। इसका जो कलर है इसको अपन थोड़ा सा बेटर करते हैं, ये करते हैं। इंटरनल लिक्विडिटी अपन को यहां भी मिलेगी इसके ऊपर, यानी कि ऑब्वियसली यहां पे जिसने कि यहां पे सेल करा होगा उसने यहां पे अपने स्टॉप लॉस रखे होंगे, ठीक है। जिसने यहां पे बाय किया होगा उसने यहां पे स्टॉप लॉस रखे होंगे, जिसने यहां पे बाय किया होगा उसने, ठीक है, हां, जिसने यहां पे बाय किया होगा, जिसने यहां पे बाय किया होगा उनके स्टॉप लॉस यहां पे रखे होंगे, जिन्होंने यहां पे सेल किया होगा उनके स्टॉप। तो कुल मिलाकर आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हो कि कहां पे बहुत सारे ऑर्डर पड़े हुए हैं। तो एरिया ऑफ लिक्विडिटी मतलब कि कहां पे प्रोबेबिलिटी की दूसरे ट्रेडर थोड़ा एक कदम आगे सोच रहे हैं कि कहां पे स्टॉप लॉस लगाए होंगे। तो क्या होता है मार्केट में जब मान लो स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो गया, मान लो फॉर एग्जांपल यहां पे सपोर्ट था, तो मान लो यहां पे ऐसे हिट नीचे आ गया तो स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो गया इन लोगों का। तो जो इन लोगों ने बाय किया है वो सेल करेंगे, जब वो सेल करेंगे तो बाय कौन करेगा, तो यहां पे काफी लिक्विडिटी है बायर के लिए। तो जो बड़ा इंस्टीट्यूशन होता है उसे बाय करना है तो कहां से बाय करेगा, बड़े ऑर्डर ज्यादा कम करना है, तो वेट करते कुछ इस तरीके का होने का और यहां पे बाय करते हैं मार्केट, इसको कहते हैं लिक्विडिटी स्वीप। लिक्विडिटी को स्वीप कर लेना, तो इसको बोलते हैं लिक्विडिटी, जिसको आप आम भाषा में ट्रैप भी कह सकते हो, ठीक है। अपन आराम से सारे कंसेप्ट को पढ़ेंगे, फिर जज करेंगे, कोई दिक्कत की बात नहीं। तो लिक्विडिटी का मतलब समझ में आ गया कि ये जगह पे लिक्विडिटी है, ये जगह पे लिक्विडिटी है, तो उस लिक्विडिटी को ले लेना। यानी कि अगर मान लो मार्केट, अब एग्जांपल एक और लेते हैं कि अगर मान लो मार्केट यहाँ पे ब्रेक कर जाता है और इस एरिया को ब्रेक करता है, तो जितने भी लोगों ने यहाँ पे सेल किया था वो उनके स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो गए, सेल वाले का तो बाय करना पड़ेगा। अब बाय कर रहा है और मान लो बहुत सारे बाय ऑर्डर अपने आप आ रहे हैं, लोगों के स्टॉप लॉस हिट हो गए और बड़े इशू को डंप करना है, तो उनको मिल गया ना, बट डंप करने को उतनी क्वांटिटी डंप किया तो मार्केट क्रैश होता है। तो दिस इज कॉल्ड लिक्विडिटी एंड लिक्विडिटी स्वीप। अब उसका एग्जांपल सिंपली बैंक निफ्टी में देख लेते हैं। यहाँ पे आपको मालूम है कि बैंक निफ्टी का चार्ट है, मार्केट में कहां लिक्विडिटी है, मार्केट ने ग्रीन कैंडल बनाई है। अब यहाँ पे कोई बाय कर रहा है फॉर एग्जांपल, अब यहाँ पे कोई बाय करेगा फॉर एग्जांपल, तो ऑब्वियस बात लिक्विडिटी इस एरिया में लिक्विडिटी है, जहां पे इस कैंडल जिसने बाय किया इसके ऊपर लिक्विडिटी है, इस एरिया में लिक्विडिटी। तो अपन देखेंगे कि जब मार्केट आया और उस लिक्विड जब मार्केट नीचे आया तो ऑब्वियसली बात है कुछ लोग यहाँ पे भागे होंगे, जो जिन्होंने इस ग्रीन कैंडल भागे। जब ये एग्जिट सेल करे तो कौन बाय कर रहा है, जो मार्केट को अगर ऊपर लेके जाना है तो मार्केट यहाँ से ऊपर जाएगा। बहुत ही नॉर्मल सा एग्जांपल था कि लिक्विडिटी कैसे लोगों ने यूज करी, ठीक है। तो ठीक है, वर्ड्स आर डिफरेंट बट आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड। पूरा आंसर पढ़ेंगे तो समझ में बने रहना वीडियो में। फेयर वैल्यू गैप, फेयर वैल्यू गैप भाई मार्केट में कैसे फेयर वैल्यू गैप बनता है भाई? फेयर वैल्यू गैप का मतलब क्या होता है? अब वो जो ऑर्डर ब्लॉक वाला आंसर था फिर से यहाँ पे सामने आएगा। लेट्स से अपनी कोई भी यहाँ पे कैंडल बनती है, ठीक है, ये एक मान लो लेट्स से रेड कैंडल है, ठीक है, यहाँ से मार्केट नीचे रेड कैंडल, ये वाली रेड कैंडल है और फिर बनती बूम एकदम से बड़ी ग्रीन कैंडल, ठीक है, एकदम से बड़ी ग्रीन कैंडल बनती है और ऐसे करके बनती है ग्रीन कैंडल, ठीक है। और जो तो ये पहली रेड दूसरी वाली ग्रीन तीसरी कैंडल जो है मान लो ऐसा हैमर बनता है। तो हम लोग पता चल रहा है ऑर्डर ब्लॉक को समझ गए आप। तो जब भी तो यहाँ पे क्या पहली कैंडल और तीसरी कैंडल के बीच का विक जो अगर पूरा पूरा फिल नहीं हुआ है तो जो गैप है उसको बोलेंगे फेयर वैल्यू गैप। जैसे यहाँ आऊंगा रेक्टेंगल मार्क करूंगा, ये जो एरिया है ये मेरे लिए कहलाएगा फेयर वैल्यू गैप, एफवीजी, ठीक है। ये एक ऐसा होता है फेयर वैल्यू गैप है, मतलब वहां पे ऑर्डर ब्लॉक है उसके नीचे और ऊपर, मतलब नीचे में ऑर्डर ब्लॉक है तो फेयर वैल्यू गैप जहां भी मिलता है वहां पे ऑर्डर ब्लॉक होता ही है, तभी गैप बनता है। हो सकता है ये अगर पूरा पूरा फिल कर दे तो ऑर्डर ब्लॉक भी मेरा एक कैंसिल हो जाएगा, मतलब दैट इज नॉट अ गुड क्वालिटी ऑर्डर ब्लॉक। ऑर्डर ब्लॉक बनने के लिए मार्केट को तुरंत सेकंड कैंडलिंग खत्म करनी चाहिए, वो आगे होना। तो अब क्या होता है मार्केट यूजुअली क्या करता है, यूजुअली मार्केट आता है और फेयर वैल्यू गैप पे रीटेस्ट करता है और यही से भाग जाता है। तो मेरे को यहाँ पे लॉन्ग करना है ट्रेड्स को, कई बार होता है कि फेयर वैल्यू गैप को जो है पूरा पूरा फिल कर देता है और इस पार्ट पे आके इस यहाँ पे ऑर्डर ब्लॉक भी है ऑब्वियसली ऑर्डर ब्लॉक पे आके भागता है। तो लाइव एग्जांपल देंगे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। ट्रेड कहां करना है ऑब्वियसली और यहाँ पे एंटर करना है, फेयर वैल्यू गैप ट्रेड करना है। तो और अगर ऑर्डर ब्लॉक ट्रेड करो तो जब मार्केट अंदर घुसे ऊपर निकल जाए तो यहाँ पे एंटर करना ऑर्डर ब्लॉक ट्रेड करना है, तो वो उसमें कोई स्ट्रेस नहीं है, ठीक है। क्या मैं बताऊं, बहुत ही सिंपल से इंडिकेटर है, आपको सिर्फ लिखना है फेयर वैल्यू एफवीजी लिखना है, ये जो लक्स एल्गो वाला है एक नंबर इंडिकेटर है, ऐसे निकाल के देगा आपको सारे के सारे फेयर वैल्यू गैप, ठीक है। अगर मैं यहाँ पे आऊंगा लक्स एल्गो वाला निकालूंगा तो अपने आप बना के देगा सारे फेयर वैल्यू, कोई स्ट्रेस की बात नहीं, बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं। लोग ऐसे वहां पे एसएमसी जान को यूज करता हूं मैं और आप नहीं करते भाई, बहुत नॉर्मल इंडिकेटर बना हुआ है, कोई भी बता देगा, मैं बिना इंडिकेटर के निकाल के दिखा दूंगा। तो देखिए सही दिखा है कि नहीं दिखा है, दिख रहा है आपको यहाँ पे इस बड़ी वाली ग्रीन कैंडल बनती है बैंक निफ्टी में टाइम फ्रेम पे, फिर एक और बड़ी ग्रीन कैंडल, तो ये जो इसका लोअर इसका बन गया फेयर वैल्यू गैप। आया मार्केट फेयर वैल्यू गैप पे टच किया और मार्केट टारगेट दे दिया। तो फेयर वैल्यू गैप तो मैंने बता दिया कैसे स्पॉट करते हैं और इंडिकेटर ये सीधे स्पॉट और ये फेयर वैल्यू बता सकता है। तो फेयर वैल्यू आपको समझ में आ गया। बीओएस का मतलब क्या होता है समझते हैं? बीओएस बहुत सिंपल सी चीज है कि मार्केट जब और इंडिकेटर ये सीधे स्पॉट और ये फेयर वैल्यू बता सकता है। तो फेयर वैल्यू आपको समझ में आ गया। बीओएस का मतलब क्या होता है समझते हैं? बीओएस बहुत सिंपल सी चीज है कि मार्केट जब यहाँ पे मार्केट देखो जैसे कि मान लो यहाँ पे मार्केट एक हाई बनाता है एक लो बनाता है, ठीक है, और फिर क्या करता है अचानक से अब देखो हाई और लो, अब मैं पहले डायग्राम बनाता हूँ फिर समझाता हूँ आपको। आप बोलेंगे सच में बीओएस देखो मार्केट क्या होता है ऐसे हाई बनाता है और तो कोई हाई और लो पकड़ा गया, ठीक है। जब ये हाई और जब तक मार्केट इस रेंज के अंदर रहेगा कुछ नहीं कह सकता, इसके अंदर रहेगा ऊपर रहेगा नाचेगा गाएगा जो भी। अच्छा मान लो ये ऊपर ब्रेक कर दिया तो क्या मैं इसको ब्रेक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर कह सकता हूँ? नया हाई अप ट्रेंड हायर हाई सिंपल, बट समझ लो। तो क्या एक हाई लो हायर हाई भाई तो इसे कहते हैं ब्रेक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर। तो मेरा जो यहाँ पे बाय से बाय करने की तरफ है कि मैं इसे बाय करूंगा, बाय कहां करना है वो डिफरेंट बात है, वो अपन को समझना पड़ेगा डिपेंडिंग ऑन हाउ यू ट्रेड। तो जैसे यहाँ पे देखो यहाँ पे दिख रहा है मेरे को कि मार्केट में यहाँ पे स्ट्रक्चर है, हाई और लो मिल रहा है मेरे को, यहाँ पे एक लो मिल रहा है हाई मिल रहा है, फिर क्या मार्केट ने दिख रहा है आपको लाइन खींची मैंने तो दिया ब्रेक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर हो गया ब्रेक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर। तो दिस इज लाइक पॉजिटिव ब्रेक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर, बुलिश ब्रेक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर, ठीक है। अब आखिरी कंसेप्ट जो अपन को समझना है सीएच यानी कि चेंज ऑफ कैरेक्टर। अब देखो मान लो अपन को पता है कि मार्केट यहाँ पे एक ब्रेक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर किया हुआ है, अब अगर दोबारा ब्रेक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर करने के लिए करना पड़ेगा इसको तोड़ना नहीं तोड़ता, यहाँ पे कोई ऑर्डर ब्लॉक था या फिर ऑर्डर ब्लॉक पे आता है और वहां से रिजेक्शन लेता है और नया लो बना देता है, तो क्या वो यहाँ पे इसने क्या ट्रेंड चेंज कर लिया या अपना कैरेक्टर चेंज कर लिया? इसको लोग बोल देते हैं सीएच चेंज ऑफ कैरेक्टर। तो यू कैन सी द वर्ड्स आर डिफरेंट बट द कांसेप्ट इज वेरी फेमिलियर टू यू, करेक्ट? मतलब इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं कि आपको पता था ट्रेंड का चेंज होने को ही आप सीएच बोल सकते हो। तो कुछ जज मत करो, आगे बढ़ते हैं, समझते हैं। ऑर्डर ब्लॉक समझ गया, बड़ा मूव आने के पहले जो छोटा कैंडल था वहां पे एक्चुअली बहुत सारे लिमिट ऑर्डर बच गए जो एग्जीक्यूट नहीं हो पाए, तो मार्केट उनको निपटाने आता है अगर उसको ऊपर जाना तो भी। लिक्विडिटी का मतलब होता है कि कहां पे भाई ऑर्डर मिल सकते हैं, कहां पे बहुत सारे ऑर्डर पड़े हुए हैं, और लिक्विडिटी स्वीप मतलब उसको निपट ले लेना, बेसिकली ट्रैप सॉर्ट ऑफ। फेयर वैल्यू गैप बनता है जब एक कैंडल नंबर 1 बूम 2 3 दोनों कैंडल में अगर विक में डिफरेंस गैप है, कई बार विक कोई चली जाती है तो कोई एफिशिएंसी नहीं बना, बन गया तो फेयर वैल्यू गैप। ब्रेक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर मतलब मार्केट ने स्ट्रक्चर बना दिया, सीएच ट्रेंड बदल गया। अब देखो अब इस हफ्ते पहले से पता था आपको कई सारी चीजें इसमें से, लेकिन स्मार्ट वर्क एसएमसी का यहाँ नहीं है, यहाँ पे कोई ट्रेडिंग स्ट्रेटजी बना हुआ। अब मैं बोल रहा हूँ स्ट्रेटजी का पहले डायरेक्शनल बायस, मतलब पहले हम डायरेक्शनल बायस मतलब हम पहले देखेंगे कि मार्केट किस तरह ब्रेक स्ट्रक्चर हुआ है, अभी भी सीएच कभी चेंज फैक्टर हुआ है क्या, तो मैं सेल करने जाऊंगा, अगर नीचे की तरफ हुआ तो ब्रेक स्ट्रक्चर को दूसरी तरफ बाय करने जाऊंगा, तो फाइंड एरिया ऑफ लिक्विडिटी, अब देखेंगे कि लिक्विडिटी कहां पे है, फिर स्पॉट ऑर्डर ब्लॉक और एफईजी, अब जो भी एरिया ऑफ लिक्विडिटी होगा उसके पास एक ऑर्डर ब्लॉक होना चाहिए, और फिर छोटे टाइम पे शिफ्ट करूंगा और बीओएस या जो भी मेरा ट्रेंड की डायरेक्शन में ट्रेड लूंगा। अब बैंक निफ्टी में चलते हैं, सबसे पहले आते हैं और सबसे पहले देखते हैं यहाँ पे कहां पे एक बढ़िया वाला अपन को देखने मिल रहा है कि भाई देखो यहाँ पे दिख रहा है कि एक देखो यहाँ पे था फेयर वैल्यू गैप, पहली कैंडल दूसरी तीसरी, तो यहां से यहां तक था जो फेयर वैल्यू गैप, तुरंत मार्केट ने फिल कर दिया, तो इसको तो कोई मौका मिला नहीं, तो तुरंत फिल कर दिया, तो ट्रेड एंट्री मिली ही नहीं। ओके, फिर मार्केट खोला, बूम, एक ग्रीन कैंडल बनी, एक और ग्रीन कैंडल बनी, तो मेरे को दिख रहा है कि यहां पे जो है मार्केट ने एक फेयर वैल्यू गैप बनाया, ठीक है, तो ये मेरे फेयर वैल्यू गैप बनेगा। ऑर्डर ब्लॉक की बात करोगे तो यहां पे एक ऑर्डर ब्लॉक यहां बनेगा, ठीक है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कि ये जो कैंडल दिख रही है ये पहली कैंडल है, तो डेफिनेटली ये ऑर्डर ब्लॉक है जहां पे मार्केट आएगा अगर, तो यहां से भी बहुत अच्छा लिक्विडिटी है इस एरिया में। एनीवेज ये फेयर वैल्यू गैप है फिलहाल, और उस अपन फेयर वैल्यू गैप को आते हैं, इसको डिलीट मारते हैं और फेयर वैल्यू गैप से ट्रेड करते हैं, छोटे टाइम पे शिफ्ट करेंगे, डायरेक्शनल बायस स्ट्रेटजी क्या कहती है, पॉजिटिव, क्योंकि ब्रेक स्ट्रक्चर ऊपर हो रहा है, एरिया लिक्विडिटी ढूंढते हैं, एरिया लिक्विडिटी हमें मालूम है कि मार्केट यहां से ऊपर उठा है, तो यहां पे लिक्विडिटी है, इसके यहां से मार्केट ऊपर उठा था, क्लोज हुआ था, आखिरी आखिरी मार्केट उठा था, तो कुछ बायर यहां पे आए थे, तो यहां पे लिक्विडिटी होगी, तो ये एरिया ऑफ लिक्विडिटी भी है, और मैं बाय ही करूंगा मेरा, क्योंकि ऊपर चल रहा है, ऑर्डर ब्लॉक मेरे को मिल गया है, छोटे टाइम पे आज 5 मिनट, अब मेरे को कंफर्मेशन चाहिए, कंफर्मेशन कैंडल मेरे को दिख रहा है कि यहां पे मार्केट आने के बाद एक ग्रीन कैंडल बनाया है, तो अगर मैं अपनी पोजीशन यहां पे लॉन्ग करूंगा, स्टॉप लॉस मेरा ऑर्डर ब्लॉक के नीचे डालूंगा, तो क्या मेरा यहां पे 1:2 हो रहा है, तो आप देख सकते हैं मेरा 1:2 आराम से हिट हो जाएगा, 1:3 हिट हो जाएगा, ज्यादा हो जाएगा कोई बात नहीं है, 2.5 हिट हो जाएगा। तो दिस इज हाउ अ स्ट्रेटजी वर्क्स, बट एग्जांपल समझ में नहीं आया, गोल्ड पे चलते घंटे के टाइम फ्रेम पे, मैं इंडिकेटर्स ऐसे स्पॉट कर सकता हूं, इंडिकेटर स्पॉट नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं सब कुछ रीड मार रहा हूं और आराम से आपको यहां पे ला रहा हूं। अब देखो यहां पे क्या होता है, मार्केट ना दिख रहा है आपको, बड़ी सी ग्रीन कैंडल बनाया, ठीक है, एक बड़ी सी यहां पे मार्केट आता है, बड़ी ग्रीन कैंडल बनाता है, और यहां पे दिख रहा है कि इसकी ये विक और इसकी ये विक भाई है नहीं, तो पहले तो मेरे को ऑर्डर ब्लॉक मिल गया छोटी वाली कैंडल, तो पहले तो मैं ऑर्डर ब्लॉक पे यहां पे मार्क कर रहा हूं, तो मैंने यहां पे ऑर्डर ब्लॉक मार्क कर लिया, पहले दिख रहा है आपको, इसका हाई और लो करना है और ऑर्डर ब्लॉक पे आ जाना है, जब मैं यहां पे आ गया, अब मेरे को क्या करना है, सिर्फ छोटे टाइम पे शिफ्ट नहीं घंटा, मैं 15 मिनट या 5 मिनट शिफ्ट जाऊंगा अपने आप को 5 मिनट शिफ्ट कर लेता हूं, 5 मिनट में मैंने आपको शिफ्ट किया, तो अब थोड़ा पीछे जाना पड़ेगा, ये रहा वो, तो जैसे शिफ्ट किया तो मेरा काम है मार्केट, ओके, अब देखो अब मेरे को पता है ना, अब स्ट्रेटजी पे वापस आते हैं भाई, आज स्ट्रेटजी देखो सिंपल है भाई, डायरेक्शनल बायस, अब हिंदी बात करता हूं, नॉर्मल लैंग्वेज बात करता हूं भाई, ट्रेंड पॉजिटिव, अब ट्रेंड क्या है, बुलिश बेरिश, हाई हाई बुलिश, तो मैं बाय करना प्रेफर करूंगा। एरिया ऑफ लिक्विडिटी ऑब्वियसली यहां पे ये एरिया ऑफ ऑर्डर ब्लॉक इज एन एरिया ऑफ लिक्विडिटी ऑब्वियसली, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, उसके बाद मार्केट पुल बैक लेता है, ऑर्डर ब्लॉक पे आता है, ग्रीन कैंडल बनाता है, मैं यहां पे एक लॉन्ग ट्रेड लगाऊंगा, मेरा यहां पे लॉन्ग ट्रेड स्टॉप लॉस जाएगा इस एरिया के नीचे, आप देखो मेरा 1:2 यहां पे हिट हो जाएगा, 1:2 तक हिट हो रहा है, तो दिस इज हाउ यू कैन आइडेंटिफाई दिस एरिया। तो क्या हुआ यहां पे मार्केट बेसिकली यू कैन से दैट दिस इज एन ब्रेकआउट, जिसका हुआ उसी एरिया का रीटेस्ट हो गया कहीं ना कहीं, ठीक है, बस ये जो मैंने लाइन बनाई थी, और हमेशा याद रहे ऑर्डर ब्लॉक बड़े टाइम फ्रेम पे बनाओगे, छोटे पे नहीं बनाओगे, 1 घंटे पे 4 घंटे पे 15 मिनट पे बनाओगे, तो फिर 15 भी बना सकते हो, वो इंडियन मार्केट में, इधर मत बनाओ, क्योंकि इंडियन मार्केट 15 भी बढ़ाएगी, वो 6 घंटे का खुलता है, ये 15 कोई इज्जत नहीं है, ये 24 घंटे खुला रहता है, तो इंडियन मार्केट के लिए 15 ठीक है, 15 और 1 घंटा, फॉरेक्स मार्केट के लिए 1 घंटा 4 घंटा, तो ये याद रखना, अब ऑर्डर ब्लॉक सक्सेसफुल बनेगा, तो पहला हमने ऑर्डर ब्लॉक समझ लिया भाई, एक अच्छा ट्रेड बनता है। अब फिर क्या देखो मार्केट क्या क्रैश किया, यहाँ पे मस्त क्रैश किया, दिख रहा है आपको, सुप क्या गिरा मार्केट यहाँ से, तो जब ये गिरा तो ये इंबैलेंस बड़ी कैंडल, ये इन दोनों के बीच में फेयर वैल्यू गैप बन रहा है, तो इन दोनों के जो फेयर वैल्यू गैप बन रहा है, मैं यहाँ से लेकर के इस वाले विक तक खींचूंगा, तो आगे खींच दूंगा यहाँ पे, ठीक है, आगे लेके जाऊंगा। अच्छा काम करते हैं, मार्केट काफी थोड़ा नीचे था, मैं ऑर्डर ब्लॉक मत करूंगा, क्योंकि मार्केट उसको फिल ही नहीं किया, मैं फिल नहीं किया ना, आया तो क्या फायदा बना करके, तो ऑर्डर ब्लॉक में आगे खींच दूंगा, ठीक है, तो ओके, तो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी टारगेट इन प्रेजेंट टेंस, ओके। अब उसके बाद क्या मार्केट गिरता है, बड़ी कैंडल बनाता है, एक पॉज लेता है ग्रीन कैंडल से, फिर गिरता है, अब मैं देखता हूं कि जैसे ये यहां पे गिरा, ठीक है, और भी ठीक है, यहां पे गिरता है, इस कैंडल पॉज लिया, गिरा, तो इस ग्रीन कैंडल में और इस विक में फिर से मेरे को यहां पे क्या, यहां पे एक ऑर्डर ब्लॉक बन रहा है और एक फेयर वैल्यू गैप बन रहा है, तो मैं पहले ऑर्डर ब्लॉक बनाऊंगा, फिर फेयर वैल्यू गैप बनाऊंगा, देखो बनता है, और ये बनता है आगे की तरफ। अब देखो जब कभी भी फेयर वैल्यू गैप, यहां पे गैप भी है, गैप तो फिल हो गया, मार्केट गया, हिट किया, वापस अंदर आया, तो भाई यहां पे क्या हो रहा है, आपको क्या दिख रहा है, अभी मार्केट डाउन ट्रेंड पकड़ चुका है, डाउन ट्रेंड पकड़ा है, सेल करना है, टाइम फ्रेम बदलो, 1 घंटे पे थे, 5 मिनट पे आ जाओ, 2 टाइम फ्रेम नीचे आ सकते हो, एक काफी नीचे आए तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। अब देखोगे यहां पे तो बहुत बड़े टारगेट देखने मिलेंगे आपको, हमारे यहाँ पे बड़े टाइम फ्रेम बनाया था, मार्केट आता है, आप यहाँ पे सेल करते हो, स्टॉप लॉस आपको डालना है डेफिनेटली उस लेवल के ऊपर, ठीक है, कौन से लेवल के ऊपर, यहाँ पे पुट स्टॉप लॉस अबव दिस लेवल, तो और अगर रिस्क रिवॉर्ड समझ में आ रहा है तो ठीक है, ठीक है, रिस्क रिवॉर्ड तो यहाँ बनेगा 1:2, तो ऐसे लेना पड़ेगा जो टारगेट हिट भी हो जाता है, और अगर मान लो समझ में एस्टिमेट टारगेट आप नहीं लेते, नॉर्मल बड़ी बात आप लेते हैं, टारगेट लेना, तो यहाँ पे उसके अपॉर्चुनिटी रिस्क रिवॉर्ड की बात होती है, दोबारा आप मार्केट में मौका दे, यहाँ पे सेल कर सकते हो, रिस्क रिवॉर्ड में तो छोड़ने पड़ते हैं, मान लो यहाँ पे ट्रेड किया आपने, ये स्टॉप लॉस डाला आपने थोड़ा ऊपर, और अब आपने प्लान किया भाई अगला ऑर्डर ब्लॉक जो है यहाँ पे ऑर्डर ब्लॉक है, ठीक है, छोटे टाइम फ्रेम पे यहाँ पे ऑर्डर ब्लॉक दिख रहा है, ये छोटी कैंडल के ऊपर बड़ी कैंडल, ये आपका टारगेट हो सकता है, और एग्जैक्ट उस टारगेट एग्जैक्ट उस जगह पे आता है, वो हिट करता है, तो 1:2.26 आपने बुक किया, तो आप देखो तो छोटे टाइम फ्रेम पे आप ये चीज निकाल सकते हो टारगेट वगैरह के लिए, एग्जिट करना, एंट्री के लिए मत करो, तो दिस इज हाउ यू डेवलप अ ट्रेड, तो भाई दिस इज हाउ यू कैन डेवलप अ लॉट ऑफ ट्रेड। अभी यूएसडी जेपी पे जाके 4 घंटे के टाइम फ्रेम में देखेंगे, बड़ा मूव है तो यहाँ पे दिख रहा बनता हुआ, अब देखो जब ये बड़ा मूव बना, यहाँ पे एक कैंडल है, ये कैंडल है, तो यहाँ पे आने के बाद मैंने इस कैंडल के हाई और लो मार्केट में ऑर्डर ब्लॉक है, इसको आगे खींच दिया, अब आप देखो ये कितने बढ़िया तरीके से आया, और हाँ, और अब एक फेयर वैल्यू गैप भी मार्क करेंगे, अब यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक एक फेयर वैल्यू गैप है, जिसका कलर मैं बदलूंगा, ओके, इसका कलर मैं बदलूंगा ताकि फेयर वैल्यू गैप देखिए, फेयर वैल्यू गैप ये कर देंगे। अब देखो जब मार्केट यहाँ पे आया, इसको रेड कर देते हैं, मार्केट फेयर वैल्यू गैप में घुसता है, और यहाँ तो ये एक शॉर्ट अपॉर्चुनिटी बनती है, आप यहाँ शॉर्ट करोगे 1:2 पे बुक कर सकते हो, या हो सकता है ब्रेक इवन चला जाए, ठीक है, तो ब्रेक फेयर वैल्यू गैप फेल हो जाए, जैसे एफवीजी फेल होता है तो डिलीट है, इवन मैं इंडिकेटर बनाऊंगा तो बनेगा नहीं यहाँ पे, क्योंकि वो जो फेल हो जाते हैं दिखाता नहीं है ये, तो इंडिकेटर जो बताया ना मैंने एफवीजी लिखोगे तो वही दिखाएगा, फेल हुआ तो हाँ ये चीज फेल हुआ, डिलीट द एफवीजी, फेल नहीं हुआ यू कैन स्ट्रेट अवे खींच सकते हो, जैसे पहले खींचा था मैंने। अब यहाँ पे ऑर्डर ब्लॉक मतलब रेजिस्टेंस सॉर्ट ऑफ है, मार्केट यहाँ पे गिरा था, यहाँ पे रेजिस्टेंस होगा, तो वहाँ पे रेजिस्टेंस के लिए मैंने डंडी नहीं खींची, यहाँ पे यूजुअली क्या करते हैं आदमी यहाँ पे डंडी खींच देता है, यहाँ पे ब्लॉक बनाना है या फिर एक जोन, सप्लाई जोन, कुछ याद आया, सप्लाई जोन डिमांड जोन पढ़ाई की हुई याद आया होगा, तो देखो अब क्या हो गया, 4 घंटे का टाइम फ्रेम है, अब मेरे को दिख रहा है यहाँ पे 30 मई को, अब मैं शिफ्ट हो जाऊंगा 15 मिनट टाइम फ्रेम पे, 2 टाइम फ्रेम नीचे आ रहा हूं, 1 घंटा 15 मिनट, 4 घंटे पे था मैं अभी, तो आप देखोगे यहाँ पे मार्केट आया, आता है मेरे इंपॉर्टेंट एरिया पे अंदर घुसता है, ठीक है, एक टारगेट आप यहाँ पे ले सकते हो, एक एंट्री यहाँ बनती है, तो अगर आप यहाँ पे एंट्री मारोगे शॉर्ट ट्रेड की, ठीक है, पहली कैंडल यहाँ पे शॉर्ट ट्रेड की एंट्री मारोगे, स्टॉप लॉस डालोगे यहाँ पे, तो आपका रिस्क रिवॉर्ड पे हिट हो चुका है, 1:3 तक जा रहा है, ठीक है, तो टारगेट यहाँ बनता है, फिर मार्केट जाएगा, ये ऑर्डर ब्लॉक एफवीजी नहीं है, तो मार्केट घुस के नीचे यहाँ फिर से एंट्री देता है अपन को, एक और ट्रेड बनेगा अपने यहाँ पे कि भाई यहाँ सेल करेंगे, स्टॉप लॉस डालेंगे रिसेंट उसके ऊपर, फिर से मेरा 1:2 यहाँ पे हिट होता है, फिर मार्केट उसी ऑर्डर ब्लॉक पे आता है, और देखो लगातार मेरे को यहाँ पे सेल ट्रेड्स को बार-बार दे रहा है, तो इफ यू सी ओवर हियर दीस ऑर्डर ब्लॉक्स ऑन एरिया ऑफ रेजिस्टेंस एंड बे एंड क्या डायरेक्शनल बायस, सेल कर रहा है, सेल कर रहा है, मार्केट गिरा, क्यों सेल कर रहे हैं भाई, 3 मिनट दिख रही है आपको उसके पहले, ये देखो मार्केट में ये जो क्रैश आया था, ये जो क्रैश आया हुआ लोअर हाई लो, लोअर हाई लोअर लो, उसी को फॉलो कर रहा हूं मैं, यानी ट्रेंड को फॉलो कर रहा हूं मैं, तो आप देखो देखोगे तो यहाँ पे ओके यहाँ पे स्टॉप लॉस, ओके यहाँ पे टच नहीं किया, ये टच करना चाहिए तो कोई ट्रेड नहीं बनेगा यहाँ पे इसकी बात है कि टच करे तभी ट्रेड लेना है। फिर मैं यहाँ पे सेल मारूंगा, देखो आपने एक साथ यहाँ पे एक बड़े टाइम फ्रेम से लेके आया मेरे कंसेप्ट को, कितनी जगह को कितना बड़ा टारगेट मिल सकता है डिपेंडिंग मेरी कितनी कंसेप्ट में कितनी हिम्मत है होल्ड करने की। तो ठीक है, देखा आपको चार्ट। तो भाई अब क्या समझ में आया, कहीं ना कहीं ये आपके लिए कहीं ना कहीं ये आपको मालूम था, बस शब्दावली जो वर्ड्स थे वो बदल दिए गए। अब एक चीज आपको दिखाता हूं ना, देखो बिल्कुल एक फन की बात नहीं है, सीरियसली मैं बोल रहा हूं। कभी मैं आपको बोल दिया किसी वीडियो में, देखो कि भाई अनिश ट्रेडिंग कंसेप्ट बना दिया मैंने, एसएमसी बोल दिया, आईसीटी बोल दिया, एटीसी बोल दिया, यानी बूमिंग बुल सर्कल ट्रेडिंग बोल दिया, बीबीसीटी। क्या होता है ये बीबीसीटी? होता है भाई, क्या होता है? कुछ नहीं, मेरे कंसेप्ट में ये ट्रेंड यूज करना है, मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर यूज करना है, चार्ट पैटर्न यूज करना है, टैप ट्रेडिंग को यूज करना है, कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न यूज करना है, मल्टीपल टाइम फ्रेम को यूज करना है। मतलब अभी को मैंने ऐसा बना दिया भाई, देखो कभी भी अपन को मार्केट में एक ट्रेंड पकड़ना है कि भाई हायर लो हो गया, बस ट्रेंड हो गया। अब मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर, मार्केट में मेरे को हमेशा हायर हाई हायर लो, मेरे को हायर लो पे ही एंटर करना है। क्या बोला मैंने? हायर लो पे ही एंटर करना है। हायर लो कैसा चलता है? अब जब ये नीचे आएगा और किसी भी सपोर्ट वाले एरिया से, किसी भी सपोर्ट वाले एरिया से घूमेगा, यानी हायर लो मतलब मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर में हायर लो पकड़ना है। चार्ट पैटर्न बनाएगा डबल बॉटम, यहां कहीं डबल बॉटम बनाया और उसमें टैप भी कर दिया, ऐसा डबल बॉटम बना दिया, और कैंडलस्टिक मिलती बुलिश एंगल्फिंग टाइम फ्रेम पे मैंने चेंज करके देखा था ये सब चीजें, 5 मिनट पे शिफ्ट किया, यहां पे एंटर किया और इसको मेरा टारगेट बनाया, ये और बड़ा टारगेट ले लिया। तो क्या मैं इसको बीबीसीटी बोलूंगा तो लोग बहस करने लगेंगे, मेरे स्टूडेंट्स मेरे सब्सक्राइबर लोग, अबे तू चूतिया है, बीबीसीटी नहीं आता। भाई समझ रहे हो, मैं आके बोलना चाहता हूं कि स्टॉप डूइंग बहस एंड स्टॉप टॉकिंग शिट कि भाई तुझे ये नहीं आता, तुझे वो नहीं आता। भाई सब चीजें लोग बोलते हैं प्राइस एक्शन वर्सेस एसएमसी, कैसी बात कर रहे हो आप? बोल रहे हो आई वर्सेस ह्यूमन, आप बोल रहे हो हैंड वर्सेस ह्यूमन बीइंग। प्राइस एक्शन यानी प्राइस, एसएमसी में क्या कुछ और पढ़ रहे हैं, ये एसएमसी है तो यहाँ पे कुछ और पढ़ रहे, मनी पढ़ रहे हैं अपन लोग। दिख रहा है आपको मन लिक्विडिटी, आपको चार्ट पे दिख रहा है भाई, प्राइस के नीचे तो दिख रहा है ना, प्राइस से तो सब कुछ बना ना। तो मैं इस वीडियो को बना करके मैसेज कन्वे करना चाहता हूं कि बहस करना बंद करो बेवकूफ टाइप। भाई दोनों अच्छा, दोनों अच्छा, दोनों क्या, अरे जैसे बीबीसीटी कुछ हो सकता है वैसे ही एसएमसी कुछ है। यूज दे आर यूजिंग सेम प्राइस एक्शन ओनली चेंजिंग वर्ड्स इन इंग्लिश। लिक्विडिटी पे क्या लिक्विडिटी दिख रही है आपकी? लिक्विडिटी कोई चश्मा है, कोई टेलीस्कोप है लिक्विडिटी देखने का, प्राइस नीचे रहता है तो बस। और क्या उसी को ट्रैप बोलते हैं, जब मार्केट ऊपर तो लिक्विडिटी बोल देते हैं लोग। ठीक है, ब्रेक स्ट्रक्चर का मतलब देखो समझ लो, आज मैंने वीडियो में समझा दिया, आई होप आपको समझ में आएगा। वीडियो पसंद आएगा रियल एग्जांपल देखेंगे तो बहुत समझ में इजी आ जाएगा। तो ऑर्डर ब्लॉक का बेसिक समझेंगे, ऑर्डर ब्लॉक क्या होता है, यूज कैसे करके समझेंगे। सेकंड कांसेप्ट है लिक्विडिटी क्या होता है, ऑर्डर ब्लॉक बहुत सारे बनते हुए दिखाऊंगा मैं आपको आज। तो इंपॉर्टेंट बात ये है कि ये जो विक है इसकी, ये पूरी की पूरी सीधे घुसनी नहीं चाहिए, यानी कि ये वॉलेट नहीं हो सकता यहाँ पे। जो बड़ी कैंडल है, फर्स्ट कैंडल है, सेकंड कैंडल है बड़ी वाली, थर्ड कैंडल, इन
सो गाइस आज की स्ट्रीम में बस अपना इतना ही रखेंगे। अपनी बिगनर्स गाइड हो गई है फॉरेक्स की, एसएमजी पे भी बात हो गई है। नाउ अब अपना थोड़ा सा टॉपिक्स देखेंगे। होप आपको ये अच्छा लगा उस स्ट्रीम, जितने भी लोगों ने देखी। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग, बाय बाय, हैव अ नाइस डे।